As the tribe emerges from the dark, wet jungle, the tribe knows not what it will see. Bing! The bright, dry beach. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Baby Beach, Maui. North Shore, Maui. This beach is usually full of kids, as it's a cool place for the kids to play. They got that little barrier reef out there. It's just fun in here. The whole thing's only a few feet deep. Anyways, I thought I would take this time to answer this video in depth, because this is by far, headed home right now. Bear with me, tribe. This is by far the most frequently asked question I get. Oh my gosh, I see nothing right now. And the question is, what do you do? What do you do for work? Do you have a job? How do you make money? And for the most part, I don't really answer that question, just because I think it's, I don't know, to be honest, I think it's kind of a rude question to ask people online. But at the same time, it's like, whatever. It's kind of rude, but it's also just kind of inquisitive, you know? Some people want to know, so I guess from that point of view, it just makes sense. Oh no, we've got a problem, Houston. I know, I see you. Stop honking at me. What was I talking about? Hold on. Oh, let's see if my stupid Ford 500 can get up here without scraping. Lowrider sauce. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah, that's a good little girl. Yes, you are. Okay. What was I talking about? Yeah, jobs. Okay, yeah, at first I was kind of like, that's a rude question. I would avoid answering it just because I'm just like, whatever. But now I'm like, whatever. I don't know, whatever. So my current job is, for the last 4 years, I run a small little internet business I started with my mother. We make windscreens for digital audio recorders. So if you have a digital audio recorder, you should probably go to redheadwindscreens.com and buy one. Help support accidental broadcast. Muchas gracias. We're also gonna be making them for like lavalier mics for moto vloggers, whatever, wedding videographers that use lavaliers. We'll make them in cool colors, white, tan, and black, the most common wedding colors, stuff like that. We can also make them for shotgun mics, on-camera mics. If you have a microphone and you want to fight the evil wind monster, send me an email. I'll respond to you ASAP. Moving on. Let's go back. Let's take it back all the way to the beginning. Sometimes I have a hard time answering that question. What do you do? When I moved to LA, it was especially freaking bad because that's the first question everybody that lives in Los Angeles asks you, and it's so annoying. At a certain point, I'd just be like, I'm a crop duster, and then just bore them to death. Be like, yeah, you know, it's a pretty decent job. I fly a Cessna, and you gotta dust those crops. You know, you don't want these pests eating your crops. And, you know, next year you wouldn't be able to get potatoes, or they're really bad with the romaine out in San Bernardino. You know, I gotta fly extra low, and it's pretty exciting. This one time my left engine went out, and it was, yeah, it's a twin engine Cessna. So you get the picture, right? But anyways, I think that's what gave me the sour taste in my mouth about that question. So forgive me if I've taken so long to answer it. But now I'll tell you, every single job I've ever had. Start from the beginning. When I was a kid, my non-stop job was weeding. Always. Mom, can I go to the beach? Can you give me a ride to the beach? No, you need to go out and weed around the coconut trees. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. There's this little plant that's related to the koa. You guys have probably heard of koa. It's a beautiful hardwood that grows here in Hawaii. But there's a little distant cousin called holly koa. And its wood is not sought after at all. It's very ugly. and gross and doesn't grow. The grain in the wood's all jacked up. But anyways, the damn plant grows like a freaking weed. And these little things would come out of the ground no thicker than like a pencil. But they just come out everywhere. Like, you like weed, if I weeded a spot and there's nothing at all there and I pull the frickin', or I pull everything out of the ground, like a week later, there's all these little halicoas sticking out. So weeding those things was like my first job. Always frickin' weeding halicoa. And it's a weird plant too, because as far as the little baby plant comes out of the ground, the root goes directly straight down the same distance. So if it's a foot tall, there's a foot tall or a foot deep freaking thing sticking into the earth. And it's so annoying. I can't tell you how many I would grab onto, like little pencil thickness halicoas, and you go to pull them and the skin slides off them, obviously, because they're a young plant. And then, like, while your hand is sliding up the frickin' bark, all these little nubules are like raping your hands. That was awful. I hated weeding with a passion. So then I would occupy my time with washing cars in the neighborhood. that was great. That like fulfilled my obsessive compulsive younger years. As like I think I was like 9 years old at the time, and my friend and I, which I've had forever, would start a little car washing operation. And I'm sure you guys have heard of Laird Hamilton, the famous big wave surfer. Well, he used to live at the top of my street, and at the time he was just becoming like Laird Hamilton, you know, like starting to hit it big time. And he'd get all these stickers, like all these companies that send him stickers, you know, sponsorships and all that stuff. And instead of us accepting money, we'd accept the stickers because we thought it was so cool. You know, at the time stickers were so expensive. It was like a valuable commodity. So we had like all these stickers, these non-related to skateboarding windsurfing stickers. We like stick them all over our skateboards to make them look new, because we usually have to buy secondhand garbage skateboards. So that was a fun little window of time, and we got our painting operation down pretty well. We'd charge like $6 to do a car, and like the neighborhood, people in the neighborhood would like give us little tips. They're like, you know, you guys could charge an extra $1.50 if you do the interior too. So we got all like obsessive about doing the interior of the cars, and then like, you know, they would like come and check out the car and freaking out, or like fake freaking out. Like, oh, Kalani, you guys didn't get the, you know, the little louvers are here, you gotta get the Q-tip. So that was a valuable time. That taught us to really pay attention to detail. Well, taught me how to pay attention to detail and, you know, provide a good service if you're taking somebody's money for a service. So that was fun. I actually had a good time doing it. And then that morphed into mowing lawns in my neighborhood. But my lawnmower was a piece of crap, so I'd like, this guy Randy that lived up the street would let me use his mower, and I thought it was so amazing because it had not electric start, but electric drive. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing lawnmower in the universe. I love it. And then he would like, he was the same guy that got all obsessive about the grill in the car and being all anal about it. He would let me use the lawnmower to mow other people's yards, but I actually had to give him $1 for each one. So he like, I quickly learned about that, like, you know, look at what's going on. What's going on here? Everybody's having a good time. You just gotta let it out. You're drunk, drinking beers. That taught me how to, just the idea of, you know, because when we were kids, we were always wanting to, it's like, Mom, buy me a bucket. We need a car wash. Buy me this, buy me that. It just kind of gave you this sense of worth and value you'd place in things. So that was great. Mowing the lawns was cool, and that was all fine. And then yard maintenance people started infiltrating my business and coming into the neighborhood and like creating accounts with the neighbors, and I don't know, it was awful. So I lost my accounts. I don't know, my lawn mowing skills weren't very good. I would like be lazy about the trim and going around trees and stuff. Sometimes only mow like half the lawn, but still take the cash if they had it on the porch. Oh, that was funny. And then I had my first legitimate job where I had to be there every week, once a week. My grandmother at the time, I refused to go to catechism. I was raised in a Catholic church and I absolutely refused. I was screaming bloody murder whenever I had to go. I just felt like somebody was raping my soul whenever I went. So I would just cry to my mom, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, freaking out, flipping out. So my grandma was like, fine, if Kalani's not going to go to church, he needs to get a job. So every Sunday, instead of being in church, I would be at this lady, Joan, who still does the same thing she has done since I was a kid. She runs a propane place in my small little jungle town. And I would have to go there from 8 a.m. to 12, 4 hours, $5 an hour. I'd get one $20 bill every Sunday. And I had to freaking weed eat and carry giant, heavy bales of hay and cow manure, sacks of shit. It was awful. It was the worst thing ever. And she was like a military drill sergeant at the time. Now she's a sweet old lady. She's all calm and kind of relaxed and just matter of fact about her whole business. She's been there so long. But she was gnarly at the time. She was like, Kalani! I was like, yes, Joan, yes, Joan, yes, Joan, flipping out. She's so hardcore. And that taught me how to hate a boss. I hated her. Now I love her. I go there and I'm like, hey Joan, remember when you were like so hardcore on me as a freaking 11-year-old or 12 years old? And she's, oh, hi, yeah, that was a long time ago. And she like goes in to tell me how she got this new boy. And I'm like, don't even want to hear it. But I'm not surprised, the place is looking perfect. So that taught me how to just, from that point on, the idea of a boss, somebody like, it was just an awful feeling waking up on Sunday morning and it was like school. It's like, all right, Kalani, get up. You're going to be late for Jones. And if I was late, she was pissed. I'm like, I'm just a preteen. Leave me alone. But nope, had to happen. In hindsight, it was a good experience. It taught me that I don't want to freaking work for anybody. That's for damn sure. But that wouldn't happen for many, many years to come. Then I got a job working, my first job actually, where I had to fill out an application and go in and work and get taxes docked and clock in and all that stuff, was at a grocery store here on Maui, up in a place called Kalani, a grocery store called Foodland. Big commercial grocery store. It was a pretty cool job. We used to like do the most ridiculous things. Like in that job, you have to front items, you know, pull everything on the shelves up to the front. So I was like, Kalani, go front the baby food. Like, okay, yes, boss, yes, boss. You're like fronting baby food, but you like jacked a bag of beef jerky and you hide it behind the baby food because the baby food takes so long to front. All those little jars, there's so many of them. You gotta front them perfect. All the labels gotta be facing out. So when you pull the first, so if a customer pulls a bottle off, the next label's still facing them. And they were anal about all that stuff too. So we'd have like a hole with a bag of beef jerky open in the back and we'd just like reach in and grab beef jerky and take 5 hours to front baby food. And then at night we used to jack things like food. That's so sad, but I used to steal food from that place. All of us did. We'd grab like steaks and then you take them to the electronics department and throw them in the trash can, which was just full of paper, right? And then you take the trash out, throw it in the garbage can behind the place, and then when you get off work, you go to the place, grab that bag, and throw it in your car. Hee-hee! Free ribeye, baby! I wonder if my mom ever caught on to that. Like, why would I bring home steaks? Oh well. Ate like a king at that time. That was good, that was fine, that was whatever. And then I started hating it. That was awful. So I was like, gosh, I gotta do my own thing. I can't work for these companies. It's like too insane. So I started my own thing on the side while I was still working at Foodland, doing body work on cars. Because as you guys have probably heard in that last video with the Honda Civic, my first car was a Mazda GLC station wagon. And it was an absolute piece of shit. So I had to learn how to body work that thing, Bondo and all that. There was no internet. There was no Google how to body work a car. You had to take that shit to the library, dude. Like open books and look at books. and like walk into a shop and say, hey brah, can I watch you do that car? Stuff like that, like real life stuff. And so I started doing that, and then my neighbor, the same guy who is like all into the fence and the lawn mowing stuff, he's like, oh, I got a friend that's got an old Carmen Ghia, you want to fix it up? This guy was like cool. I wish I knew where Randy was. Anyways, fix the Carmen Ghia, made some money, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like, I really enjoyed doing it, and I could just mess around with cars all day long. So I turned my garage into a paint booth and started doing that. And that was really cool because I was making like good money doing something I like from home. And then one day the fire marshal pulls into my driveway and shut the entire operation down, threatening to sue my mother or take her to jail or I don't know, something. So in one single day that whole thing ended. And then I looked into like possibly opening my own body workshop here on Maui and started looking into this stuff, but I was still too afraid to take a leap that big. That was like a huge commitment. So I decided instead of doing that, I would move to the mainland, which I did. Then got a job at a restaurant, and then got a job at another restaurant, and then got a job at another restaurant, and became a professional waiter. I was the best waiter in the world. So good. Super long arms, right? Reaching across giant tables with families, just like perfect execution. Like I could do that job so well. But that's one of the worst vicious cycle jobs in the universe, and I'll tell you why. You go to work at like 4 p.m. You get off at like 1 a.m. or 12 midnight or whatever, and then you end up going out to drink with the people that you also work with because that's what everybody does. Then you wake up the next day at like 12 noon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You got to go to work in a couple hours and you can't really do anything. So you just kind of hang around and linger around, and you're also at the same time making enough money to not really want to pursue anything else. Like I had nights where I'd make like $400 or $500 at this, working at this 5-star restaurant, and you become very comfortable. It's like unmotivating to think about doing anything else. So that went on for a long time, and so I finally was just like, I've had enough of working at restaurants. I'm gonna quit this job at a restaurant. I'm gonna start doing something I really enjoy. Remember, this whole time, now I'm like 19, 20 years old at this point. I'm on the mainland. And this whole time I've got that movie that we talked about that one time. You watched that video called Tribe. And that's always been in the back of my mind. That thing's just running all the time. It's like, gosh, Kalani, start heading towards your dreams, dude. Quit freaking procrastinating. So then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna move to LA and do something in that realm. Well, one thing led to another, and I still to this day haven't worked at another restaurant. I never will. I refuse to, ever. Even though it's a fun cycle, but it's just vicious after a while. But I moved to LA, and then I got into like freelance graphic design, which led to working with this guy as an assistant to set decoration on like infomercials and commercials. And I did that for a while, a few years in Los Angeles. And that was very cool. It just showed me how a lot of production works on the back end. And of course I was like soaking that stuff in like a wild animal, just watching every little thing. And yeah, I still sometimes do graphic design work and jobs like that for people. At the same time, I've grown my skills in graphic work and video camera work and audio work, and it has something to do with what I enjoy doing, but it still wasn't what I wanted to be doing. So moved back to Hawaii, and I got a job working for my dad. That was one of my most recent jobs. He had a small tour company here on Maui, and I was managing it, setting up new accounts with hotels and all that stuff. And that was very valuable, because it broke a few barriers I had. Oh gosh, I forgot to tell you about my first job in corporate America when I lived in Los Angeles. Let's just say it was for a super high-end expensive shampoo company, and it ended very badly, and it was a very scandalous end to the whole thing. And that just showed me how corporate America is just such a cutthroat, heartless bastard, and I don't ever want to be part of it ever again. Holy crap, this freaking sunlight is like ridiculously bright. Oh, look at those beautiful horses. Yeah, so anyways, I'm back. I'm working for my dad. This job taught me a lot about just kind of managing something that has to run a certain way, and all the details that go into that. Like every little simple thing is, if you want to execute it properly, it takes like really solid management. Okay, so anyways, there's that, and then there was what I'm currently doing, and there were some little things in between that. Oh shit, I left the biggest thing I did on Maui out entirely. Oh my gosh, how the hell did I forget that? That's where my sense of humor came from, dude. I worked at a t-shirt factory, this small little t-shirt factory with the two funniest bosses ever, and that showed me that bosses can actually be really cool. Oh my gosh, just 5 years of smack talking infinity and getting paid for it. Anyways, that's about it, guys. I don't know, this video's so long, it's like 21 minutes. It's the length of like a TV show. My battery's about to die. These twisty roads are making me crazy. I don't know what to dive into. This red dirt is beautiful. There's leaves everywhere. And oh, what's that on my knee? Knee dive!